Oh boy, what a week. My mind is more wore out. In the family, somebody got deathly sick, and I was taking care of that person for 2 full days. And the thought of COVID being the problem was there in your mind, but it wasn't the right symptoms, and the symptoms were more like food poisoning. So by the second day and the third wave, if anybody's had food poisoning, I know what I'm talking about. Things cleared right up and the person's fine now. Man, I tell you, that just mentally just drains you, because you have to think about, do you contact somebody? Do you dare? You may never see this person again. All these horrible thoughts, and who are you with, and who's exposed, and just on it. Who's got time for all that? It's so hot. It's about 87. Supposed to get 97 today. Here in San Francisco, California. So I just wanted to talk to you just a few minutes about the COVID issue. And that in San Francisco here, we keep getting between 50 and 60 new cases a day, every day. And we socially distance, we line up properly, we all wear masks when we're around each other in crowded places, all this. And still, we're getting 50 to 60 new cases a day. So that tells you just how horrible this disease is, whether it's human-made or not. It's out, and now we have to deal with it. And the problem is that our federal governments throughout the world are just falling flat on their face. There really was no plan, even though we thought there was. There was a couple of places like CDC and other organizations that have taken as much as they can. But it's so clear the U.S. has 1/3 of the global infections. We're up to 28,000 deaths. We're about to go to 2,000 deaths a day. And people just put up with this? And they got so irate over 9/11, but they won't do a damn thing about getting rid of the person who's completely in charge of the pandemic. The person who's at the top, who needs to step forward and do something. Get these agencies together and clear this thing up. But you're just not. You're having people open. Every state that's opening, their curve is now going like this at the very tip. What is wrong with humans? Something is so wrong. We're just not seeing it. Such a simple thing to do. Just stay home. Just stay home. Once in a while go shopping, stay home. Wait it out. Put pressure on the government to give you some kind of stipend so you can get through it. After all, we just gave billions and trillions of dollars to the corporations. Can't we give a couple thousand to the people? No, the man at the top says no more. Let's go into environmental news. A new study, yet another new study, has projected by 2070 that 3 to 4 billion people will be subjected to living in a hot climate. If temperatures increase by just 1.8 degrees by going above this 3.5 billion people will be without air conditioning. Just because it's too hot and air conditioning just won't work. There is a limit to what air conditioning can do. To all the non-believers, believe me, air conditioning only works so far. And if it gets too hot to drill for oil and dig for minerals and plant the food and all that, you know where we're headed, So what are the perfect temperatures for humans and for the animals and life that we know now? Is between 52 and 59 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the optimal temperature where civilizations like it the most. What countries will see these temperature rises first? Well, I'm sure these won't surprise you. Africa number 1, Asia number 2, South America number 3, Australia number 4. Now Australia's been just peaking like crazy, but apparently it's only 4 on the list. All these countries will get the hottest, the fastest, the first. The Orange Man stuffed the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency here in the U.S., with cronies on the advisory board to the EPA. Well, some of those, plus the older advisors on that board, are now sounding the alarm on one of Trump's new rules that would block the use of high-quality science research on air and water pollution. Can you believe that? We're going to block science from being used. How can you make a decision without science? Would you like to build an airplane without science? These rules will work exactly the same way, won't they? And let's not forget about Flint, Michigan's water disaster. They decided that without science. And look how many people died and got very sick, and now their pipes are completely rotted out and they're forced to pay high-end water bills. If I was in Michigan, I'd try a different place to live, really. So a lot of people are wondering, how is the CO2 increase doing throughout the world? And I have a chart here that shows that it's still increasing, but at a slower rate than it was, and we actually have some measurements to prove that. And here it is. As you can see, it's not a big decrease, but there is some decrease. It just shows you how much work we still have to do. Even if we were able to freeze things as they are now, which we're not, they're quickly ramping back up without thinking again. But it's up to us as individuals to deal with all this stuff. The loonies and the nutballs they're the small minority. We can't really waste our time with them too much. We have to go for the masses. And let's put the science out there, the information. There's a lot of good websites out here now, and video live streams you can watch, all kinds of ways you can get the information. But what we're seeing right now throughout the world and the U.S. is the loonies are trying to take control, whether they use force, violence, hatred, whatever it is. They're trying to discourage from wearing a mask or from social distancing. And I don't care about that. If you want to do that in your Trump family, that's fine. You guys do that all you want. But just remember, you're helping spread this, what did he call it? A conspiracy? Yeah, this conspiracy by the Democrats. And you still follow this idiot in the White House? When are we going to start using the brain upstairs? So, with about 20 degrees above normal temperatures here in California on an absolutely beautiful early morning, I appreciate all the ups and downs and new subscribers. And remember, for the non-Trump supporters, social distance, wear that mask, stay inside if you can. Get a little bit of exercise each day and wait it out. The longer we don't do that, the longer it's going to take us to do that, to get through this. And if we never get through this, we may kill off our entire species just from being stupid. Can you believe that?